Hi, I'm Tammy with TNT Grace and Grit, and today I'm going to talk to you about having fire starter items. I was going to kind of wait until we could actually go outside and test these, but I'm actually still going to do another video on that when it warms up and dries up a little bit, because we're just having some strange weather right now while it's spring. You know how it does. So let's get into it. One of your first questions might be, why in the world do I need fire starter items? Why do I even need to know how to start a fire? There's all kinds of reasons. Number one might be an emergency. You might need emergency heat or emergency way to cook. But all of that aside, the apocalypse is not coming. So, or I'm not a fearmonger anyway, and then those types. I do this just to give us all some knowledge on how to survive, or how to go camping and build a fire, or how to build a fire outside and roast marshmallows with our kids or grandkids. So let's get started on how to do that. You can have any kind of kit that you would like. They do suggest having a waterproof kit to keep them in. This is waterproof as I have it right now, and it's not even waterproof because there actually are small little tiny holes in the bottom of this bag, but it is inside my house for now. So I am going to be looking into getting some kind of something plastic, maybe a hard plastic that has maybe a seal around it to make it waterproof. But for now, this is what I have. Let's go through it and see what all is in here. I can tell you it already has scent to it. So this is actually a used bag from Timu that I reused. So I'm going to lay this down here on my desk and start pulling out items so that we can talk about them. The first thing that I pull out is a ferro rod. And this is one thing that I cannot show you how to use inside the house because I don't want to take any chances of catching my house on fire. But there are plenty of videos out there that show you how to use these. Man, I sealed this thing back up good. Come on now. All right. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. Anyway, you want to do this where it might be a little bit longer. Make sure your cord's nowhere around it. You're going to have tinder. And I'm going to show you things in this kit that can be used as tinder. But also, if you can find some dried leaves, some dried pine cones. And even if they're not completely dry, I have items in this kit that I'm going to show you that will help catch those on fire. But you will hold this down close to it, and you're going to run this down, and it's going to send out sparks. And from what I've seen, if you're good at it, by your third, at the most, hit of sparks, you're going to start a fire. That's what I have to say about that. All right, back in the bag, back in the bag. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you're enjoying these videos that I put out. I love making them. This is petroleum jelly, aka Vaseline. You know, generic is just fine. I'm gonna have my big one over here. These are cotton balls that you don't even have to soak them. You just take your cotton ball and you're gonna shred it, and you're just gonna kind of like just dip it down in. You can get them coated pretty well. They're gonna dry out somewhat, but they are still filled with petroleum jelly, and you want them dry a little bit because that's going to catch your fire. But you can kind of see in the bottom, see that yellowy on there? That's the petroleum jelly that has settled down to the bottom. So that is going to start fire. I was kind of amazed of things that actually were flammable. And if you check into it, you will be too. Now, this is a gum container that Johnny kept for me. He keeps his sticks of gums, or you buy his sticks of gums in this, and then he saves me his containers. And he and I both keep Q-tips in these to keep them dry and clean, so we can just have a few at our fingertips to use. And so I've been using them for my kits. So this is plain dry cotton balls. These are cotton balls that are soaked in Skin So Soft original oil. And I mean, these are soaked. And what do I have these soaked in? These are in Vicks Vapor Rub. Do you ever think the items that you're putting on your body are that flammable? It's kind of hard to fathom, isn't it? Kind of hard to fathom. But I just shoved them all back in here, makes them all flat. And when I say shove, I mean shove. So that I have room in this little bag to keep everything in. Shove them in there. And then you hear it? So it's not watertight. Water could get in here very easily, but for the most part, it's a pretty good kit for it, or a box for it. This is a USB lighter. I think I've showed it to you before, but I have this in my fire starter kit. This is where you keep it charged. You open it up and you barely touch this and it gets hot. You can hold your cotton up to that. You can hold your stick up to that, a leaf up to that, and it's going to catch on fire. And then you barely touch it to turn the flame off and close it back up. Now, it does get kind of warm, so don't put it up until it has cooled off. Next thing I'm pulling out of my bag. What's in my little bag of tricks here? Dryer lint. I bet you know this. Lots of houses have caught on fire because of the dryer vent. So please make sure that you are actually keeping that cleaned out of your dryers. Well, the vent hoses. Please keep them cleaned out. So dryer lint is highly, extremely flammable, and it doesn't take much. That's why I just have a little bit in here. Just pull a little out, throw it in there. You're going to catch fire with it. Stay tuned to the very end for the one that makes sense if you think about it, but whenever I found it in my research, I was like, what? Okay. Grizzly fur. Now, if this is your first time watching this, you're like, I'm going to go out and find me a grizzly bear and have grizzly fur. No. My dog's name is Grizzly, and this is his fur. Dog fur is highly flammable. Not only that, birds love to make a nest with it. So if you clean your dog's extra fur off of them in the spring, throw some out somewhere so the birds can get a hold of it and make their nest with it too. But it's highly, highly flammable. I also have. Do you remember these old book matches? I have 3 of these in here, and we all know if you struck matches from these, that you can strike them, they go out like that. So yes, that's why I have 3. You can always use your lighter to light all of them, catch the cardboard part of it on fire, and throw it in there, and to help get your fire started too. That not only is lip balm good for your lips, you can start fire with it. Now, I've mentioned this before in a video. It's been a while back. Did you ever think in your growing up days when you were young and silly and you're putting your lip balm on, and if you were a smoker and I was a smoker, and you go to light up that cigarette, you never know that your lips go. Not likely, but I'm just saying. But you take lip balm and you all over paper, a dry leaf, a cotton ball, what have you, and it's highly flammable. Yeah, that was one of those items. I was like, what? Petroleum jelly wicks. What? Yes. So, if you need a candle or light, you can get something and put a bunch of little tiny gravel in it, whatever kind of rocks in it. Stick one of these down into it, which is a Q-tip soaked in this one. These are soaked in petroleum jelly. But again, you can use your petroleum jelly is gonna burn probably the longest. Or if you have some Crisco, you can, or whatever that kind of lard, to dip them in that, stick them down in the rocks, and they're gonna burn for a while. So here's that. So you might want to make several of those. The little tea light candles. If nothing else, light it and let the wax melt down on your timber that's in your fire that you're building, your campfire or whatever you're building, and that wax will continue to help that fire stay burning. Once you get it burning and your wood's no longer wet or damp, and you just keep piling your wood onto these, your camp wood on there, then it should stay burning. But tips are for wax will help it to dry out a little quicker too. All right, so my last item in it for now, and I am building this kit all the time, is dried orange peels. Now, you have to make sure that they are 100% dried out. And even though these make noise, and once I take the background noise out of this, you might even not even hear that. But if they are still pliable and don't snap, they are still not 100% dry. And if you put them up into your bag, they are going to mold. So they do take a long time to dry out. I keep this bag open and I keep it hanging up on my jewelry rack to let it dry out. Once it's dried out, and I check it about once a week, so they've been drying out for a while. And once they are all completely dried, then they will go into my fire kit as well. So for now, yes, they are there. Sorry, let's all hydrate. So, do you have a fire burning kit or fire starter kit? Do you have other items that you can let us all know that can help start your fire? And remember, when you do use chemicals to start your fire, if you are going to make s'mores, if you're going to cook hot dogs or something over that open flame, make sure those chemicals have burned out a while. Make sure there is no blue or green or purple colors in your fire flame. You want to have yellow and red, orange only. That shows a clean flame with no chemicals. Then you can cook your food. Do your research pretty please before you cook food for you or your family. Now, you can put a pot on there and cook over it because it's not going to go through your pot. All right, that's what I have in my fire starter kit for now. I'm always adding things to it. So tell me what you have in yours, what you would add to yours. Tell me something else that could be flammable and safe. And that's it. So I love you. I appreciate you. Remember to always be beautiful. Bye for now.